Hi, this is Rob Anderson. Since 2014, I've been spending a good bit of time and money building an overland camper on the Stewart and Stevenson military truck platform. Building the camper, I learned so much from various folks on YouTube videos, so I thought I should return the favor for future builders. To that end, I detailed building the first edition of the truck in my first YouTube video. In the second video I made, I detailed moving the camper box from the M1078 4x4 truck over to the larger M1083 6x6 5-ton cargo truck that I purchased from a fellow in Spokane, Washington. Since that video in 2021, my wife and I have traveled about 25,000 miles all around the western United States in the truck that we call Tortuga. During this time, I took up the sport of land sailing, and Tortuga's been a great way to explore the dry lake beds of Oregon, Nevada, California. She's been very comfortable, and it's kind of a perfect synergy. This leads me to the point of this video. We've made a number of improvements since the last video I made, and I wanted to detail those and show those people building overlanders some of the elements of the truck. All that said, I would be remiss if I didn't discuss a serious challenge we faced shortly after I made the second video of moving the camper box over. I was driving to Western Washington and experienced a catastrophic engine failure. Like all of these trucks, when you buy them from a government auction, you have no real history on their past use or abuse. Clearly, this truck had a pre-existing problem with the heads. The mileage was only 10,000 miles, but it basically experienced hydrolock and ended up having to replace with a remanufactured long block. It's Cat 3116 that I was able to get from a company in Portland. Fortunately, my local Cat dealer, Western States in Lewiston, Idaho, did an amazing job getting us back on the road. Big thanks to the main mechanic who did it, Dusty. Dusty did a really great job putting it all back together. Since the rebuild, we've had no problem with the engine. With that behind us, I could start focusing on all the projects I wanted to get done on the truck and in the camper. First project was the roof rack, ladders on the side, and what's referred to as a Dakar rack. I fabricated these in my shop and then had them powder coated. From there, I installed LED lights on both sides and in the front, as well as fog lights. My son is very adept at SolidWorks, and he designed a front grille, which he had cut out on a laser cutter, and we had that powder coated. At that point, I could start on the process of demilitarizing the cab of the truck. Took everything out, put in sound attenuating material, painted the dashboard, took out the M16 mounts, put in paneling, built a center storage rack along with a dog bed for in the middle of the truck, and then installed a stereo, CB radio. Also installed a display for the front and rear cameras that are mounted on Tortuga. For the doors, I installed heavy-duty brackets that will take a padlock that's very hard to break into. Since we spend a lot of time in the desert, we obviously want to have an air conditioner in the camper part of of Tortuga. So we installed a 12,000 BTU Pioneer mini split. I was a little nervous about the weight and going off-roading, but I built a pretty beefy bracket, and in 3 years of use, it's worked out really, really well. Though the mini split has a heating capability, we went with a small S-bar diesel heater as an auxiliary for when it really gets cold, or if our batteries are low, it's a great addition to keep the cabin nice and warm. The mini split and the S-bar have been a great addition to the truck. We are very comfortable in pretty much any weather. We added the mini split. I wanted to improve our battery capacity. So I doubled the number of batteries that we have to 4 100 amp lithium batteries, and also doubled the amount of solar on the roof to 1600 watts of solar panels. With this solar charging capacity running through our 3000 watt inverter, we have more than enough power for our microwave, the mini split, and other AC needs. We don't usually carry a generator, but we did find in our travels in the Pacific Northwest that it was oftentimes difficult to get a campsite that had good solar exposure, and there was also a lot of days with no sun. So for those trips, we do have a generator that we can carry. Another project that most LMTV, FMTV owners need to deal with are replacing tires. Oftentimes they come from the auctions with old date codes. So I replaced 4 of the 6 on the truck with new tires, which entails taking apart the wheels and putting on the new ones. At 350 pounds, it certainly can be a handful, but if you go slow, and it can be done pretty easily. Somewhat related to tires is one of the better $8 that I've ever spent was putting a valve on the wet tank so that I could run air tools off when the truck's running. Another big addition since the last video was the installation of a WeBoost cell signal booster, and then went to a Starlink that certainly has been a game changer for wasting time in the camper. Because the Starlink runs on 110, I've got to have the inverter on, so it uses a lot of power, but there are kits becoming available that I look forward to converting it to a 12 volt system. I do have a small anemometer, thermometer, sort of little weather station I can deploy when I'm at a sailing venue. It's very helpful. Beyond these major upgrades, we've added a lot of small elements to make life on the road better. From secure closures on all drawers, as well as the fridge, to an outside hose for our barbecue. At the back of the truck, I did install a beefy hitch assembly and rack that allows me to carry a lot of gear, my bicycles, as well as land sailor. I can also hook up trailer hitch and tow a boat or a box trailer. Installing the hitch, I saw an opportunity to integrate a stabilizer pair of jacks that we can deploy when it's really windy or we just need a few inches of leveling. I'd like to figure out a way to do the same thing on the front of the truck. I should also mention that on the rack, the roof rack for the cab, we do carry 2 better built storage boxes, and I carry 25 gallons of extra fuel up there when I need it. Recently I installed on all 4 corners LED flashers that let people know there's a slow truck ahead when I'm crawling up a grade. Also, I found a 12 volt RCA TV that has been a great addition to the camper. Well, that's about it for the upgrades we've made since the last video. People often ask for pictures of the interior, so here's some shots. And that's about it. So thanks for your interest. If you have questions, please leave them in the comments. I try to answer them when I can. Otherwise, thanks for your interest in our truck build.